Hello and welcome to your Express Mat workout of the day. Whenever you're ready, you're going to meet me on a flat surface, and I have some ankle weights on. So if you have some lying around your house, feel free to add those on. It'll just add an extra burn. If you do not have any, feel free to do this entire workout without them. Whenever you're ready, you're going to pick one direction. You're going to meet me on all fours, knees down underneath the hips, hands down, wrists are directly below your shoulders. And we're just going to go into some cat-cows here. You're going to arch your spine, look up, and then round your spine, look down. And repeat. Just warming up that back. Last one. Arching. And then we'll find that neutral spine. So for that neutral spine, you want to make sure that belly button is tucked in away from the t-shirt. You still have those knees under your hips and your wrists underneath your shoulders. We want to make sure that pelvis is in that centered position. And whenever we are ready, we're going to start with some fire hydrants. We're going to use one leg. We're going to pull that knee up to that elbow, lower back down. Pull knee up to elbow, lower back down. I'm going to drop down onto my opposite forearm, just to give a little bit more availability for that hip. Otherwise, stay on those hands. Make sure those hips stay even towards the ground. That left hip is sitting down just as much as that right hip is. Pulling that belly button away from that t-shirt. And thinking about using that side part of that glute. Each time you lift up that knee, you lower back down, getting in that mind-body connection. We're gonna add an extension on our next one. We're lifting up, we kick out, pull back in, lower down. And again, lift up, kick out, pull back in, lower down. We have 3. 2. And 1. Stick with me. We're going to go into some rainbows. You're going to bring that leg to the bottom corner of that mat. You're going to tap down, kick up nice and high, tap to the opposite corner, kick up nice and high. I'm going to come back up to my arms for these ones. You're welcome to stay down on both forearms if you need to. Doing whatever feels good for that spine. Your neck stays nice and long. The gaze is just above where the fingertips are. Kicking that leg up as high as you can get it. Tapping back down for 5. 4. Last 3. 2. And on this next one, I want you to meet in that high point in that center. Flex that foot, we go into hamstring curls. Kicking to the glutes, straightening back out. Kick to the glutes, straighten back out. Resisting using the back of that thigh, getting into that hamstring. Make a check, make sure those hips are still even towards that mat. Left hip is down just as much as the right. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the bend leg on this last one. We pulse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop that knee down, separate the knees, connect the ankles, sit back into that child's pose. All right, when we are ready, we are going to work that other leg. All right, using that new leg, that will be my right leg for this time. We will be going into those fire hydrants again. Dropping down to that forearm if you liked it. You bring up that knee, you lower back down. Bringing up that knee, lower back down. Waking up that new side glute here, thinking about how it is helping you open that knee. And resist as it's lowering back down. And again, keeping those hips even. Keeping that neck nice and long, letting it not crank down onto either shoulders. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's add that extension, kick out, bend back in, drop down. Bringing that knee up, kicking out, bend back in, drop down. We have 5, 4, going into 3, last 2. Keep that extension on that last one. You drop into that back corner of that mat. You tap down, you kick back up, you tap that new corner. Come back up, tap that corner. Coming back up to my hands, either staying there or staying on your forearms, whichever feels better for your body. Keeping that neck nice and long. Keep that gaze just above those fingertips. Drawing those rainbows for 3, 2, and 1. Tap that back corner, come up to that center point, hamstring curl, straightening, and then bending to the glute. Keeping the foot flexed to really work that back of thigh. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. We pulse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop that knee down, separate the knees, connect ankles. Take that rest pose. All right, we will come back up to seated. We are gonna go onto side lying legs. So you're gonna lie down on that glute that we were just working to give it a break. So for me, it'll be my right glute. Lying all the way down. Our head will be heavy in our hand, using it as a pillow. Our knees will be stacked at a 90-degree angle. You want the knees on top of each other as well as the hips on top of each other. This top hand comes wrapped around, pushed into the mat to get a little work for those obliques. And then we're gonna extend that top leg. We wanna kick that leg all the way out. Flex that foot. You're gonna lower and lift. Lowering and lifting. Only stopping at that midway point in the air. We will add the extension in a minute. All right, we stop at that midpoint. We now extend higher, stop at midpoint. Higher, stop at midpoint. You exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Exhale and inhale. For 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Stop at that midway point. We kick that foot forward. We bend that knee. We kick it back to that midpoint. Kick foot forward. Bend that knee. Kick back to that midpoint. Going into bicycles. Exhale, reach. Inhale, kick. Exhale, bend. Keeping that body still on that mat. Keep those hips stacked on top of each other. Resist any rocking. And then on our next one, when we straighten that leg out, we bend to chest. We kick forward. We swoop back to midpoint. Reversing that bicycle. Feeling that side glute really burning up here. You got it for 6. Last 4. Last 2. And last 1. Bend that knee, give that hip a pat, waking it back up. And then when we're ready, we're gonna go over to the other side. So swinging those legs around, dropping back down onto that new hip. Head is heavy in that hands. We have those knees stacked at that 90-degree angle to start that starting position. Hips are stacked. We use that top hand, we wrap it around, pushing into that mat. You opening up those obliques. We lift up that top leg, we kick it out, and we lower it down to tap, lift back up. Lowering to tap, lift back up. Only stopping at that midway point in the air. For 3, 2, and 1. Bring that leg into that midpoint. You extend higher, you drop back down. Extending higher, you drop back down. Keep those hips stacked. Make sure you're not rocking from the front or the back. You're gluing them down to the mat. For 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Stop at that midway point. We kick that foot forward. We bend to chest. We kick back out. Kick that foot forward. We bend to chest. We kick back out. Going back to those bicycles. Keeping that leg nice and high, not letting it drop. You want it at the same height the entire time it travels through that air. For 3, 2, and 1. Kick that leg out, bend to chest, kick forward, kick back out. Bend to chest, kick forward, kick back out. Reversing that bicycle. You got it. Keep those hips stacked. Keep that foot nice and high. You're almost there. It's the last part of class. You can do it. We have 5, 4. You got it. Only 3 more. 2. And last 1. Bend that knee, give that hip a pat, waking it back up. And you have made it to the end of class. We're gonna lie onto our backs. I want you to try and cross one leg over the knee of the other leg. You can either stay here, or if you have the flexibility for a deeper stretch, I want you to grab that other leg's thigh, pull that knee towards your chest, opening up for that figure 4 stretch. Lower that leg back down, safely uncross that leg, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Either staying here, just continuing to open that knee, or we grab the back of the thigh, we pull that leg in closer to us, opening up that stretch. And then we lower that leg back down, we uncross that leg, and you are done. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a workout with me, and have a great day. Bye.